Why do black people always have to get over shit so quickly?
Thanks, black lady.
Right? Why do we always gotta get over shit? Every time we bring some shit up. Slavery. Oh, that was 400 years ago. Segregation. Oh, you guys got Black History Month out of it. Come on, we gave you February. Police shooting. That was 2 weeks. Come on, you still? 9/11. Oh, never forget.
You know, all last year, I was touring with arguably one of the greatest, if not the greatest, living comedian, Chris Rock. Me and him toured all year last year. And right before that tour started, Chris was involved in what we blacks might even consider a goddamn 9/11. Chris got slapped in the face at the Oscars by Will Smith, which was one of the craziest things I'd ever seen. In fact, if you watch it live on television like I did, when it happened, I thought it was fake. I did, and I wasn't sure, so you know what I did? I waited, because I'm like you, I know Chris. I waited like 30, 40 minutes, as long as it would take him to get to another party. And I called him on FaceTime, and he picked up. As soon as he picked up, he said, "You was the only nigga I'd answer the phone for." Apparently, Obama and Oprah, everybody had called this nigga to see if everything was all right. And I thought it was fake. I didn't know. So I asked him, I go, well, you know. He said, "What?" I said, "Well, did it hurt?" And he said, "Yes, nigga, it hurt." And then I knew that it was real. And then, and only then, was I offended. And I wasn't just offended that he got slapped. That was only half of it. The real offensive part was that after he slapped him, this nigga Will just sat down and enjoyed the rest of his evening. It was crazy. The fuck is this?
The whole premise of Harry Potter is keeping magical people and non-magical people separate. So, if we follow my logic, it fucking checks out, okay? Non-magical people are black people and they call them muggles. And a slur for them is mudblood, which is like the N-word of the wizarding world. Also at Hogwarts, they have muggle studies. I was like, that's just Black History Month. Truly, I think JKKKK Rowling was sitting in that coffee shop, taking a break from writing and hating trans people. And it's a full-time job. And she was perusing the internet and she was just like, "Oh, the KKK. Oh, that seems awful, but also whimsical." Because if you think about it, Harry is half muggle, half wizard, he's mixed. Hermione's a muggle, she's black. Ron's a wizard, he's white. So if you really think about it, Harry Potter is a story of a mixed boy, his black friend, his woke white friend, as they try to overthrow the racial patriarchy of the wizarding world. I need to get fucked, okay?
I realized that white schools do not celebrate Black History Month the same way black schools do. White schools celebrate Black History Month according to how many black kids is at the school. So if it's 4 niggas, it's 4 days. Let's just say at my kids' fucking school, Spirit Week lasts longer than Black History Month. And the few white people I see here, I don't know if you know how important Black History Month is to us, but we used to go all out for that shit. Then with black people. You had to dress up as a black hero and be that fucking black hero for 30 fucking days. Now I know what you're thinking, Miss Pat, it's only 28 days. Fuck you, we took them 2 days back. So let me give you an example. If your child chose to be Harriet Tubman, your child had to be Harriet fucking Tubman. Your child had to be smart, be able to lead, be good at hide and seek, and be able to pistol whoop a nigga. And have a strong ass face. Niggas, don't play with me. You know Harriet wasn't fucking cute. You know good and damn well Harriet looked like her uncle.
I pay my respects all the time. The one that broke my heart was more than anything when we lost Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul. Try to pay my respect and watch the funeral, but that funeral was so long, nigga. I kept hollering at the TV, let her go. Supposed to be with the Lord. That funeral was so long, they turned off my cable. They said, this funeral done went through 2 billing cycles. They called me, why ain't you paying your cable bill? I said, I'm still at the funeral. Let her go. I never seen a pastor preach the whole Bible. This nigga didn't miss the scripture. I knew we were gonna be in there a long time because the nigga gonna come out talking about in the beginning. I said the beginning. What do Adam and Eve gotta do with a funeral? Let her go. She supposed to be with the Lord. CNN was there, they was unplugging that shit. Come on, let's get the fuck out of here. You've been here for 3 weeks. Don Lemon supposed to be on TV right now. I kept hollering at the TV, let her go. I knew it was long when Aretha got up to change dresses. I'm gonna wear something different in the second half of the film. I said the second half? Who has the halftime at a funeral? Let her go. She's supposed to be with the Lord. That funeral was so long, nigga, they held her in Detroit so long. By the time she finally did make it to the pearly gates to get into heaven, an angel came to the door and said, God gone.
They don't even know us. They don't even know why Black History Month used to really be Black History Month, man. Listen, the reason why Black History Month used to be really Black History Month, because income tax used to really drop around that time. People don't know, black people, income tax is a ritual. When we get our taxes, we don't care where we at. We stop and doing what we doing right then. When that money hit our account, we don't go at the hospital putting the man on the bed. That money hit our account, be like, oh. Oh, call my lawyer, I'm rich now.
And that's how you can tell the vice president is a real black woman. You don't see her nowhere. She ain't at the mall, at the club, nothing. She in her room at the White House. Too much shit going on. Too much shit. It all come down to the lie and the truth. Just gotta deal with it. Them motherfuckers don't want to tell us truth about shit. Nothing. You notice they don't even talk about the war on drugs no more? You think that's because there ain't no more war? Or there ain't no more drugs? They don't tell us shit. They don't talk about drugs no more. Because for the first time in history, black people ain't making none of the drugs. Look at white people. What? Yep, I know white people, you finding what I'm saying hard to believe. I'm gonna tell you a statistic that's gonna blow your fucking mind. There are 0 niggas making fentanyl Look at white people. What? Yep. You better believe it, white people. We would notice if niggas was dropping dead for nothing. I looked up fentanyl. That shit is beyond dangerous. I said, what you gotta do to die? They said, touch it. And that's when I knew niggas ain't involved in this. We like to touch everything we buy. We would notice niggas dying at the purchase.
Christopher Columbus stuck with it his entire life. Other explorers would come to him, they'd be like, yo, Chris, I don't think you made it to India. He's like, it's India. They're like, I don't think it's India. He's like, it's India. He died refusing to acknowledge the possibility that he never made it to India. Not only that, my friends, he never set foot in America. Ever. Ever. And yet, he had a public holiday named after him in America. That, my friends, is the inspiring story of how white men can fail up. You know how much confidence you have to pull that off? Nobody else. That is white man confidence. Nobody else possesses that level of confidence. Go the wrong way, end up in the wrong place, call the wrong people the wrong name, and be like, I'm right, give me a holiday. No one else can do that. That is the level of confidence we should all aspire to. Is white man levels of confidence. Women couldn't pull that off. You think any woman should be like, I'm gonna sail the wrong way around the earth? They'd be like, burn her, she's a witch. You think people of color could have pulled that off? You think black people could pull that off? Wow, really? Black people just gonna sail around the world, wrong way around, get to the place they're not supposed to be, probably get arrested for trespassing. Be like, what are you doing here? Be like, man, my bad, man. I thought I was getting to India, man. My bad, man. I apologize. Man, I don't even know what I was thinking, man. You know what, man? We should have never messed with ships. It never turns out good, man. I apologize, man. This won't happen again. Why would you want to bury your history? There's so much joy, there's so much to learn. You know? It feels like America's moving in that direction. You know, it wants less and less of its history, wants less and less context. You look what's happening with textbooks. Places like Florida, they want to ban textbooks or cut out the parts of the textbooks that have slavery in the books. And now parents are fighting. They're like, oh, no, take the slavery out. It's making the kids feel bad. And other parents are like, keep the slavery in. It's teaching the children. And these parents are fighting back and forth. I'm like, why? What you don't need to be fighting about. No one should be fighting about this. Kids don't read textbooks. They watch TikTok. If you want to get to the kids, that's where you gotta be. There was slavery. Ships came.
I noticed that all the white kids was on the right side and all the black kids was on the motherfucking left side. He says to the white kids, listen, y'all have coloring books, word search puzzles, and block building. Y'all can do those projects. And then he came and stood the fuck in front of us. He said, and for this group right here, and when that motherfucker said this group, oh, Malcolm X said, bitch, it's your turn. This group right here, I'm gonna teach y'all how to speak correct grammar. I put my motherfucking hand up. Mr. McKinney said, yes, Montague. Because that wasn't my motherfucking name. So I kept my goddamn hand up. Then that white man looked at me and said, yes, Monique. I said, I need to go to the office. He said, why do you need to go to the office? So I can call my father. He said, why do you need to call your father? So I can tell him that you have separated this class and you got the white children over there and the black children over here. And you talking about you gonna teach us how to motherfucking talk. And little Timmy just ate a whole ball of motherfucking glue. Baby, that motherfucking white man looked at me like, bitch, if I could put my hood on right now. And he kept staring at me and the ancestors ancestor said, bitch, lock in on that motherfucker and don't break your goddamn stare. And you better not motherfucking blink.